Here you can see the standard libraries that come with Lua. Now these libraries are loaded up automatically by the Lua interpreter that we've been using so far. So if you wanted to use one of these libraries, you don't have to do a require like we had to do for modules that we created, and you're just going to automatically have access to these standard libraries. Now, as you can see, there's not a whole lot of these libraries, and in fact, some of these are pretty sparse, but we're going to be going over some important parts of some of these libraries. Let's talk about the basics of each library, and then we'll go into more details and we'll look at a couple of examples for some of these libraries. So first we have the basic library. This contains a lot of stuff that we've already used. Things like the iPairs are the pairs that we use to iterate through a table using the generic for loop. It also contains things like set meta table and get meta table. A lot of the basic functionality of Lua, any of the basic functions in there that we were able to just call without having to have any kind of qualifier in front of it, that's where you'll find those functions. Then we have package. Now package is what we use to do the module system in Lua. We're not going to go into details in here because we've already covered what you need to know about package, really. Then we have string. Lua has some powerful string processing capabilities. It is not a full regex. That's the important thing to know about string. But I'm going to show you how you can utilize some tricks inside of string to be able to do pretty much what you would need to do with a regex library. Then we have table. Table contains some really useful functions for working with tables. Tables are a very powerful data structure, really the only data structure in Lua, but the table library really gives you even more power. So I really like this library. Then we have I/O. I/O in Lua is pretty simple. I'm going to show you how to read and write from a file, which is, like I said, very simple, and that's mainly what's in the I/O library. Then we have operating system. We've seen a little bit of the operating system when we did the random number. We're not going to go into the details of this one either because it's very, very sparse, but we'll cover basically what's in there in a little bit here. And then debug. We're really not going to touch this library at all. It contains the facilities for creating a debugger, but we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the debug library.